So let's listen to Joel talk to us about self-esteem. Let's see.
Series all about self-esteem. There are so many things that I wish I would have learned at a younger age when it comes to self-esteem. So by creating this series, I hope that you can skip some of the hardships that I went through as a byproduct of not really having self-esteem at a younger age. So part one will explore what self-esteem is. Part two will talk about the brain and self-esteem and how it's related. I know it's like hashtag nerd alert, but I love brain and neuroscience. Finally, part three will give you tips on how you can improve your self-esteem. Okay, so if you are a teen leader or a young adult who's really just trying to figure out what life is all about, subscribe below. I hope you enjoy. Life Tools by Jules presents Real Talk Self Esteem Part 1. What is self esteem? People will tell you self esteem is how you feel about yourself. But honestly, I'm not really feeling that definition too much. If you are a teen or young adult with big goals and dreams, understanding self esteem is critical. In order to explain the concept, I created a simple equation. Self-esteem equals what you choose to accept based on your inner thoughts and voices of others. Let's break this down. Inner thoughts are those voices that you hear in your head. Sometimes they are positive, like I am smart, I am funny, and sometimes they are negative, like I am worthless and I am ugly. Here is the exciting secret most won't tell you. You have total power over your inner thoughts because your brain is the ruler, the king. Anytime it doesn't like a thought, you could tell your brain to reject it. I am ugly? What? No, I reject that thought. Moving right along. So, why are your inner thoughts so important? What many people do is they depend on voices from others for self-esteem. My boyfriend says I'm pretty, so I feel good. I'm a star soccer player, so I feel great. I'm popular, so I'm happy. My parents are proud, so I'm successful. The problem is outside factors always change. The second problem is people are crazy. The boyfriend sees you talking to his friend and breaks up with you. Some crazy trips you and you can't play soccer. Popularity changes by the day. And guess what? Today your parents are disappointed in you. Those with great self-esteem can always fall back on their positive inner thoughts when the outside world changes. But if you haven't built that inner self-esteem, you will crumble. This is why your inner thoughts are so important. You can't control the outside world, but you have total power over your inner thoughts. Let's take a deeper dive into the voices of others, which is a combination of all the messages that you hear about yourself. It's what your parents say about you, teachers, friends, family, and even online social media plays a role. But remember what I said earlier. Your brain is king and can kill any thought it does not like. Let's see how this plays out through an example. Pina and Ponka are high school seniors, and they both fail the math test. And Kim, who got an A, walks up to them and says, "You both failed? You guys are stupid." Here's what happened in Pina's mind. Pina puts her head down and walks away. She thinks about the fact that her brother called her stupid last week. Somebody on Instagram called her pick lame. Her mom finds out about the F and grounds her. She tells her inner voice, I'm stupid, over and over again. Pina doesn't even do the math homework. What's the point? Ponka hears the same message, and her inner voice rejects that thought. She says, "What Kim said is not true. I just didn't study." She uses her inner voice and says, "I am smart and I will get a better grade." She tells her best friend, and her best friend says, "You're one of the smartest people I know." Ponka does her homework and doesn't even think twice about Kim's comment. Can you relate to Pina or Ponka? Both had the same message from Kim, but two totally different reactions. It's not what is said to you, it's how you react. Many times as teen young adults, you might feel that you're the only one who gets down. Heck nah. We all have up and down moments. No one feels good all the time. The key is when you feel bad, do you fight back and reject the negative message, or do you take it and accept it? Are you Pina or Ponka? Even famous superstars have up and down self-esteem moments. Jennifer Lopez, Brad Pitt, Lady Gaga, they have money, fame, influence, but they all have admitted that they've had bouts of self-esteem issues. I would like to leave you with
to look at your work and say, okay, I didn't do well in this mathematics test. This question, I don't understand this topic very well. And this, I don't understand this topic very well. I'm going to ask for help. So it's achievable because it's something that probably you have been taught, or probably you didn't study, or you forgot. because he didn't prepare for the quiz or for the test. And goals have to be realistic. They have to be, it has to be something you can do within the time set. Within 1 week, can you learn those 2 maths topics? Yes, it's a realistic goal. But if you say, I'm never going to, my goal is never ever going to fail mathematics again. And that is it's good. It's good to dream that you don't fail math. That's like a dream, your desire, but it's not kind of specific. You have not come down to saying, I will have to do it within a particular time, because goals have to be time bound. You have to set a time limit and say, within this time, I should have achieved my goal. That's what makes goals successful. And you need high self-esteem to be able to even decide that you're going to work on those things that need improving, or you even have a desire that you want to meet, but you have a low self-esteem, to be difficult for you to even set a goal for yourself. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. The other life skills also that are very important. Now we're quickly going to talk about relationships before we go to go on break. I suppose break will be maybe after 1 hour. Other life skills that affect our relationships. We know that relationships, as Ms. Choma talked about yesterday, she talked about social skills, communicating. She talked about etiquette. So there will be no point. We all know what relationships are. So when you talk about decision making, sometimes in a relationship with someone, you need to decide. My friends are smoking. Do I want to smoke? My friends are, like to go out and come back late because they're in university and parents are not here. Do I want to do that? Or my friends in school are always taking things that don't belong to them. Maybe they take people's water or stuff. Do I want to do that? So, and what are the consequences? Like we said earlier, certain things, when they're not positive, they can go against your sense of values and they don't help you to grow. So decision making is all about selecting an option. There are many alternatives. Everybody in life must make decisions. I mean, like daily decisions and minute-to-minute decisions you have to make. But each and every one of those decisions you're making, they have their consequences. They can either improve you, make you to be a better person, or begin to create a dent in your character. They can, and they also affect how you relate with other people. One of the skills teenagers should learn to acquire is called negotiation, being able to provide maybe an alternative to a suggestion that has been made to you. Not always saying yes to your friends, being able to say, no, I don't think, what of this? How do we solve this? Even among adults, among communities, sometimes when there's a problem, when there's a conflict, one of the ways of resolving the conflict would be to negotiate. You go there with an open mind, not going there and say, my mind is fixed. If she doesn't accept to do this, maybe we want to play in a team, on a football team or in sports, and the team leader or captain says, please, Amina, go and sit down, please. And you feel it's not okay, you should go to her and tell her, okay, can I just play this game because I'm already on the field, and then the next game I wouldn't play? Is that okay? Because she might say, go and sit down and say, why? I say, okay, you play in the next game. Then you can negotiate and say, I'm already on the field and we are not yet complete. Could I just stay back and play this game? Then maybe I won't play the next one. That also helps your self-esteem. Very, very importantly is the ability to communicate your needs without violating the rights of the other people all the time. And this is called assertiveness. So you're able to stand up for your rights, for the things you believe in. In certain relationships, some people are manipulative. They try to kind of make you feel guilty. If you don't do this for me, it means you don't love me, or it means you're not my friend. If you're my friend, I don't like this girl. I don't know why you talk to her. If you're my friend, don't talk to her. She say, well, she has offended you, but she has not offended me. An assertive girl will say to her friend, yes, I know, I agree that she has offended you, but she hasn't offended me. And she has even apologized, but you're still holding on to it. You're just grudging her, to be able to stand up to your friends and say, this girl is, yes, we agree. But when your friends begin to say, okay, if you keep talking to her, then you're not my friend again, then you are being manipulative in that relationship with your friend. And aggression is one thing too you wouldn't want to practice in a relationship. We all need to manage our anger. Anger management is a very, very important asset if you have it. Manage your emotions and interpret those of others well at all times. I believe Miss Elaine will talk about that in detail later today. So self-assertiveness, when you have self-assertiveness, you also can have what we call emotional intelligence. Then within relationships too, one very important skill also is refusal skill. Most times people feel that if you say no to someone who is putting pressure on you, then you are not a good person. But you have a right to say no. Okay, you have a right to say no. So when you say no, when someone is putting pressure on you to do what you don't want to do, it's good. It's an assertive behavior. I know in certain communities when someone is assertive, they might say the person is rude, is too outspoken, is too bold. But when it comes to issues of use of drugs, alcohol, breaking of your parents' rules, and so on and so forth, you need to be able to practice the following. You say no both verbally and non-verbally. You cannot be saying no with your mouth and your friend is looking at you and you don't even look serious, or probably you're looking at your phone. You need to look at your friend in the eye, eyeball to eyeball, and say, no, I'm not going to take, I've not been drinking alcohol, so I can't drink it this evening, or I can't drink it this afternoon with you, or just because I'm visiting you, I don't have to take alcohol because you're taking it and you're enjoying it. Saying no with a strong body language without offering any explanation. Sometimes the person putting this pressure, advancing the pressure, might ask you why. Why don't you want to do it? Why? You have a right to not even explain. Sometimes depends on what the pressure is. For instance, someone is pressuring you for sex, you just say, I don't want to. If the person keeps insisting, if the person keeps putting pressure on you, you can tell the person, you don't respect my sense of values. If you are my friend, then you should respect the things I respect. I want to wait. I don't want to just go around.